Frank is still here. Alright guys, well, just to give you an update of what's going on here. I jumped out of the stand, came back to the truck. It is 71 degrees right now. It's just, it's almost noon. I am going to run home, make some lunch, eat some food. I have to take care of a couple things. I think I said it earlier this morning. I didn't plan on hunting tonight, but with that buck in the area, he's obviously with that doe because she's in heat or close to heat. I just need to make sure I'm in the tree stand tonight. So right now, I could have stayed in there all day. I didn't have any food or water with me, which would have been a problem, but I didn't see a point in staying there all day because him and that doe, they went off to the north end of that property, or they went off to the north onto a different property, and that's a big chunk of woods up there. It's so warm. I imagine they stayed up on top of that hill until it started getting hot, and then they kind of ducked down into that bottom, which I'm thinking that's what they were doing. They were getting away from the heat, and she was taking him somewhere else to bed in the shade somewhere, because they were up on that top of that ridge, and the sun was just beating down on them. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. They got warm and they wanted to get out of there. What my plan is I want to get back in there this evening and set up right above where they were hanging out. Like I said, I haven't had pictures of that deer since the beginning of October or something like that. I'll have to go back and look at my pictures, but he's been a ghost, and it's crazy because I have almost, I think, 8 trail cameras on that property covering like all the main travel routes, entry and exit points, and like fence crossings and scrapes, and I got cameras everywhere. And I just think that's what those big bucks do. They just know. They know where you've been. They know where those cameras are. It's not like they know a camera's there. They just associate that area with your presence. And yeah, they tend to stay away from me. I think that's what he's doing. He's skirting my cameras. Unless this is the first time he's been back to the property since he left back in the beginning of October, and I just happened to see him, which I doubt that's the case. I'm pretty sure he's been living around there or been hanging out there for the majority of the time, and I just haven't been getting pictures of him. So, with that said, south wind makes everything kind of difficult, but I'm going to see if I can get in there tonight, set up right where I saw him, and hopefully that doe leads him back to me. Figures, the last day of my vacation. God. Hunted like crazy for 2 weeks. Never seen him. Thought he was gone. Thought he got hit by a car, dead or shot. Last morning, of course, I figure out where he's at, or where he's been hiding. It was awesome. That was very cool though this morning. I watched him for like an hour, the whole time. So cool. So, hopefully we see him again tonight. Stay tuned. Alright guys, I'm all set up. It is 3:30. This is my last hurrah. This is where Frank was this morning with that doe. He was literally right here in this thick crap. My stand this morning was down here about 100 yards, and they just hung out on this top for like an hour and a half, probably all morning. Frankly, I feel like he was up here and I just never saw him. I set up with a southwest wind. The wind's blowing this way. Those deer went that way when they left. My hope is if that doe ends up coming back through here, they're going to either take the same trail, or there's another really good trail that comes up out of this bottom and then comes along the top here. Either one of those, my wind will be good. If they end up coming from this way at all, which I could totally see, we'd be screwed. So this is kind of a high risk, high reward setup. I'm banking that when those deer left, they went down in this bottom. Even though they went that way, I'm hoping they went down in this bottom, embedded along the swamp to stay cool. As you can see, this whole transition line down here along the swamp is shaded. So like as soon as like noon hits, that whole bottom starts getting covered in shade, and a lot of deer will bed there when it's hot. This especially when it's hot. I'm not very high, but if he comes down through this thick stuff, you know, they shouldn't spot me because of all the stuff I got behind me, theoretically. Cross your fingers. My buddy shot a really big buck today up a little further north of here than I'm hunting this morning. So this morning was definitely a good time to be in the woods. You know, I mean, we might not get Frank, but just the fact that there is a doe that's in heat or close to being in heat in the area, we got a lot better chances of seeing like different bucks and another good buck that I'd be willing to shoot. So I really want Frank. I want Frank more than anything. So it's gonna take a pretty good buck to change my mind. I'm gonna literally stand all night and just pay attention. So stay tuned. Not a single deer tonight.